welcome to this special Islandstats Sports Talk. I'm your host, Earl Basden. Joining me is none other than Mia Fishel. Big Fish.
Hello.
Big Fish. It's a pleasure to have you on. First of all, congratulations on winning the championship and being the leading goal scorer. We'll get to all of that. I know there's still a lot of celebration going on. But when did you fall in love with football?
First of all, thank you for having me on this show, Earl. But I fell in love with soccer at a very young age, and I know this because, like, whenever I was at school or outside of the game, I was like, I can't wait to be at practice next day. Like, that's all I wanted to do. I was always like, I want to go out and play soccer. Like, I want to play soccer with my friends. I want to go back to practice. I want to play games. And it was like this nonstop thinking of soccer, and I didn't know at that age what that is. Like, why do I want to do this every single day for like all day long? I think it started when I was probably like 5, 6. Like, it's crazy.
So you wanted to play? Was it just I just want to play, or is that when you started to take it really, really serious?
At that age, it was like I just want to play. Like I just have so much joy. It brings me so much joy to play this game. It makes me the happiest. Whatever I did with my life, like it was always soccer. At a very young age.
Sure. So when did you start taking it seriously?
I don't know, honestly. I've always had fun because the philosophy of my first coach was to always have fun. When you don't have fun, there's no point of playing the game. And so it's a very fine line between, taking it seriously and having fun for me, because it was installed in my mind that, if I don't have fun, then I'm not playing the sport anymore. So sure. I think that when I wanted to, pursue a professional career was at surf. So that's like, competitive soccer still. And I was like, you know what, like I know scouts for college will lead to me to play for a professional soccer team. So I think I really started to take it seriously. Like, I always took it seriously. I'm so competitive. I always wanted to win. So I never stopped. But I think it was like around high school, I started like, taking it more seriously to be at a top level.
Sure. Were you always the striker, or were you just, I would play any position on the field?
At a young age, I would play every position on the field. But my favorite was being a striker. I won't forget my parents telling me one time I was a striker and the ball got past the defense. And, I knew I had the speed. I knew I had the speed compared to like other kids. So, I sprinted so fast the ball that I tripped over myself. And I was like, I need to score. So at a young age, I was like, I need to get there first. I was, the kid was probably like 10 feet behind me, and I was still running as fast as I could and tripped over myself trying to get the ball in the back of the net. So I think I was born a striker, but it changed at surf. So at surf and the youth national team, I was a midfielder. So I was I think that's why I have such a variety of skill sets as a 9 right now, because of me playing in the midfield for the U15, U17 national team, and for my club team. Yeah, and I just turned into a striker at UCLA. So the coach was like, "You're not going to be a midfielder," because we had top talent in the midfield like Jesse Fleming from Canada, who plays for Chelsea right now, Ashley Sanchez as well. So they put me as 9, and that's when I kind of started my, my goal scoring. Started
racking them up.
Yes, exactly.
Now, I know this for. Do you remember that first goal you ever scored in a competitive game?
In a competitive game, or just like any game?
Well, competitive game. Well, any game. That first goal you scored.
My first goal, I remember. I was playing at my middle school, but I think I was like 6 or 5. And I remember there was a dolphin on top of the goals. So, as a coach, they're like, go to the dolphin. and I won't forget like scoring underneath that dolphin, because they told me to score underneath that dolphin. I think that's my first memory of scoring a goal.
What was the reaction after doing that? Because you're all excited.
I was so happy. I was so happy.
It's amazing. You score on the Dolphin, and you have who gave you that nickname, Big Fish? Where did that come from?
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. But yeah, it started in youth national team. So people would call me Fish, in the national team. I didn't really get the
Right,
big fish yet, but they're like, okay, yeah, your last name like the fish, so we're just gonna call you Fish around the training pitch. And then it got to UCLA. So I'm like, I just started saying like, I'm Big Fish, just like joking around, like,
right.
like I'm a big fish on the team, whatever. And I started doing really well at UCLA, and then it stuck. It kind of stuck. Like I think outside of the team, no one knew my name.
Right.
On the team, like, and my close friends and family like would call me Big Fish. And then after UCLA, like here in Mexico, they just made it known. Like they call me it with the commentators in my game, Big Fish.
Right.
So
And
yeah.
it has stuck ever since.
Yeah, and it's stuck. And it's gonna get stuck. Yeah.
If you can remember back to 2018, the CONCACAF Women Under 17 Championships, you would face Bermuda. Your
Yes.
cousin Drew Bascom was a part of that Bermuda team. How did you feel about that game, having scored the game's first goal, and you got a chance to be on the field, people,
Mhm.
on the opposite side. But how did you feel about that?
It was really cool, honestly, seeing my cousin on the other side, just the love of football. I know how much joy it brings footballers, to play the sport and at a high level for your national team. It's a big deal. Wherever you
Mhm.
play for your national team, it's an honor. And it was really special to see her, playing for Bermuda, which, I obviously can play there as well. Scoring the first goal though was bittersweet. It's I want them to do well.
Uh,
I had to, play for my national team. I had to give it my all. And, looking back, I'm glad that, I didn't hold back. I never do in any game. But it's
mhm.
also, a reminder for them to be inspired by, me and just, never giving up on your dreams and like always, doing your best in any situation, whether that's people who you play against that you love or your
Right.
enemy. So, yeah, it was a bittersweet moment. And I'm glad that I got the opportunity to play against her as well.
Right. Sure, sure. So how did your time at UCLA set you up for
Yeah.
professional life?
Um, it's hard. It's hard coming in as a freshman. You have players in all different ages. You got women playing against like low key, teenagers still. So as well as the seniority of a team and playing time and how competitive it is at UCLA. A big Pac-12 team. I think that the adaptability. I think that's one word that I keep using to describe Tigres and
Hmm.
my time here so far. And I think that my adaptability to believe in myself. At UCLA, I had to believe in myself. Like no one knew me, no one knew how I played. Only the coaches knew, from scouting me, what I could do on the field. But I think that there's more to that. Your character, who you are as a person, as well as obviously doing well on the pitch. So learning, the coach's tactics, learning your teammates as quickly as possible to set you up for success. My freshman year, I killed it at UCLA. I think it's because of, I went in knowing that, hey, like not to be selfish or cocky, but like I know I could bring something to the table, and
Hmm.
it's going to be in a big way. So I think that mindset and quickly adapting to the environment has helped me prepare for Tigres, which is like a whole other thing, the language and all that. But I think
Right.
that's like a big one.
Sure. Before we get to Tigris, December 18th, 2021 will be a day you would remember in many ways. First day was the day your cousin was murdered, and
Mhm.
then later in the day you were selected in the first round of the women's draft for the NSSL by Orlando Pride. Take us through the emotion of that day for you.
Mm. Yeah, it was very hard. It was hard on the family. The way that it happened just it's horrible. It's you don't wish on upon anyone, especially my cousin who um, we shared the love of football for, and just as a footballer, chasing your dreams and it's important what you do off the field as well. So it sucks that it happened that way because most of our time is on the field, so it's rare that we get any time off. So the fact that it happened on his time off is just like it's really sad.
Mhm.
But um, like I said, it's bittersweet because in that moment, I got drafted to become a professional soccer player, which I've always wanted as a little girl. And I'm just happy that in dark times there was light. For my family, for my dad, I know it was a big deal during that time. He was going through all the emotions like we all were as a family, and for me to be kind of, a little beacon of light, just like in that moment. And a lot of people say that we look alike, so I think it was like it was a really cool, like a special moment that something just horrible happened, but another family member has reached her goals and her dreams. So and
Yeah.
I dedicated my first year to Osagie as well. It's like it was really important to me.
Sure. And then a few weeks later, you actually signed for Tigris.
Yeah.
What interested you most about the club? What enticed you to pick them?
I think it was their love for me. They sat me down in like a 45-minute presentation talking about me, how I fit in the puzzle of this big organization who is globally watched by, who is loved by some crazy fans here, and it's top talent. So I think, but what enticed me the most was how they saw me and how they valued me, and that's what I didn't get out of the whole NWSL process of being drafted. So I think it was just so out of there. Even though I think every footballer should deserve that recognition as a player, as a person. If you're valued, then the player is going to want to play for you. So that
Sure.
was the most enticing thing about it as
Yeah.
well.
You mentioned crazy fans because I've watched a lot of the games. I've watched a lot of the tweets and all that. How is it? Are you recognized now more in Mexico, being that you're with Tigris?
Yes, it's no doubt about it. This does not happen in the U.S. Like for example, when I got drafted, I think I picked up like 300 followers.
Mhm.
When there was word that I was coming to Tigres, it was like 14K followers from on Instagram. It was ridiculous. By the end of it, I started this year with I think 3,000 followers, close to 4,000, and now I'm hitting 40,000 right now.
Wow.
This fan base is crazy. They are so passionate. They're as competitive as I am. I would say, and that's very competitive. The way they cheer on the field and drives our team to success is it's crazy. They are our 12th man on the field.
Yeah, yeah. How did you make out with that language change, the challenge? I mean, you're going to Mexico, you're from America, you
Yeah.
probably have understood a little bit of things, but now you're living in the environment where most, if not all, are speaking
Yeah.
Mexican.
Yeah, I still have trouble with that to this day. I took 4 or 5 years in high school of Spanish, so I knew the basics coming in. I think that's
Mhm.
what kind of saved me. Like I'm not totally unfamiliar with the language,
Right.
um, but when it's here, it was a whole different story. Like this was not what they taught me in high school. They talk fast. I don't know some of the words. To this day, like even just sitting at the table with my teammates, like they're talking Spanish, and most of the time I don't understand them. Like I need a translator. Most of my teammates can speak both,
Hmm.
but I don't understand it still. And when I got here, I just let my feet do the talking. I think that was
Yeah.
the most important thing for them to respect me as a football player, and to build that connection through soccer. And then we'll get to the speaking Spanish part later.
So, how did you find the pace when you first arrived? Sliding right in because here you are. Your preseason is short because you're jumping right into the league
Yeah.
in a matter of weeks. So how did you find catching up to be ready for that start?
Yeah, I had no preseason. I came in, I think it was their fourth game. I came in
Hmm.
on their fourth game, and like I said, like it was adaptability. It was that single focus, that mindset that like I came here for a reason. I know that I could bring my talent here and help the team out, help the team win, and push them. And there's different soccer between U.S. and here in Mexico. It's a little bit more technical, not as physically based as the states. So I think that I brought a whole other aspect that I think they, respected and, adopted really quickly, as well as I adopted their, technical abilities, their clever touches. And, I learned really fast through that. So I think it was just me kind of soaking it all in those first couple of weeks of how they play, of, how does this player like to play soccer and what's her thing. So I think it was really just being quiet and learning a lot in those first couple of weeks to get me going with the team.
Sure. That first game that you actually were brought on in the 64th minute,
Mm-hmm.
when you were told to warm up, what was your focus there? What was your mindset?
Obviously my mindset was like, I wanted a goal. I want my first game to be a goal. Like I know people say, go in, take a light, get some touches in, just try to have a good game. But I honestly wanted to score a goal. That was my mindset going in. I tried my best. I didn't end up scoring, but I had a good performance. It was definitely different, just like fast paced, the emotion in the game and trying to deal with that, especially in the 64th minute. So yeah, I was super excited that I got my first, professional career, playing time.
Sure. And it's amazing how you come in the fourth game of the season, but in your rookie year, you become the first foreign player to win the Golden Boot. What do you say about that?
Yeah, it's insane. I don't know. I surprise myself sometimes on my capability. I think it's just that focused mindset that I've always had at a young age, that competitiveness in me. It's just it's never left me. It's always here, and I think my drive to being the best footballer, it starts now. It started when I was a kid. So that's my goal, is to be the best. And this is just another step and another achievement that, proves my work ethic, how hard I've worked, my mindset, and, where I want to be at the end of this.
Sure. You had some remarkable headers. You had some remarkable shots.
Uh-huh.
Which one stands out the most?
Which one stands out the most?
17, all 17.
I know. I think there's two. There's one in, I don't know who we were playing. I don't remember. But I think it was like a 35-yard shot. And it just went to the up. I was dribbling. I got picked up the ball up in a defensive transition. So I pressed the girl. I got it from her. And I started dribbling. And I was like 30 yards out. I just saw space. So I took a big touch. I just hit it as hard as I could. And it went in the top right corner. It was ridiculous. On ESPN. That game was on ESPN too as well. So
Okay.
I started doing the airplane to my teammates. I was having a lot of fun. And then the other one was against our rivals, Rayadas. And it was a regular season game. It wasn't in the Ligia, but almost sold out stadium. And I get the first goal of the game. So I was, my back was facing the goal. I was able to turn her. She was all over me. It was a foul. It was a foul already, but I took a touch and I just hit it as hard as I could and low, and it went goal. And it was an awesome moment, scoring in El Clasico here in Mexico, in Montreal. Wow. And and celebrating with the fans. That was almost sold out. The fireworks were going off behind the goal. It was amazing. That was definitely a memorable goal.
One thing I've noticed throughout the season for you and your teammates, you guys have a lot of fun in training. You do the work, but you have a lot of fun in training. What is that like? I mean, because it always looks like they always show the funny side of what you guys are doing outside of that working hard.
Oh my, it's so funny. Like, my team is hilarious. We're always, joking around. There's a good balance between, when to be serious during, our training, going over tactics, and then, the other side, which is just like messing around with each other, joking around, and it's just fun. I think that's what brings us together as a team. Team chemistry and team spirit is important in the soccer world. And I think, that connection, us playing around, helped this team become closer, which resulted in, I think, this championship. But yeah, we're always having fun. We don't take it, we're not serious all the time, which is a good thing, because we can get stressed and overwhelmed with the pressures of, starting and soccer and that competition. So I'm just glad that we can also be light with each other as well.
Sure. Now, winning a championship in your first professional season, when many thought in Mexico your team would not even make it to the final, how
Mm.
did that make you feel?
Ah, yeah, it was. It's been a roller coaster. This season has been, ups and downs. It's been a whole journey with a new coach who we didn't even know, more than 6 months ago. She's amazing as well. But I think that this championship was just a sum of uh, this all the ups and downs that we went through as a team. It was really tough. Coming in after getting knocked out by Chivas last season in the semis, that just was a punch in the mouth. We
Mhm.
thought that we were going to make it all the way and win a championship, but I think that fueled us for this season with this new coach who brought belief, hope, tactics, and brought this team together. There was a team culture that was missing with this team, and I'm glad that she figured out the key to unlocking our potential because once we caught fire of um, tactically what she wanted and how she wanted to play, we just started clicking. We had the technical ability to do anything that any coach had wanted. It was just about the coach, doing their best to set us up for success and knowing how the players work. And that comes with growing pains. Some games are off. Some games we don't understand the language barrier between my coach and some players. Some don't speak English, so
Right.
there has been you know our fair share of that. But I think in the end, it was just like it was beautiful. We had no doubt that we were not gonna win this championship. I think just we were family. We were family, in the beginning, since the beginning. But we got even closer in the Ligia with the focus of, hey, we need to win a championship. We're expected to win a championship by the fans. We're considered one of the best teams in Mexico. So that was another pressure. We overcame that. We came together and we worked harder. And I'm just so glad we won it because we all deserved it, honestly.
Sure, sure. That celebration after the second leg win,
Hmm.
what was that like for you?
Oh,
You personally, you.
all the emotions, just winning the Golden Boot. It was funny because in an interview they asked me like, "Would you trade this award for a championship title?" And I said yes immediately, like because this team deserved it. This team helped me win the Golden Boot. I did not do that by myself. I need them to support me. I need them for them to find me the ball. And I'm just glad that they get a trophy as well this year because they put in the work. We all had the same mindset and we were all on the same level. But the celebration was amazing. The after party was amazing. The club organized a little party after at the stadium. Just
Mhm.
all love, all happiness, all laughter. Just a great time.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah. Now, your off season's kind of short, but how do you plan to spend your time?
Just with family and friends. It is very short. So it's just resting. I'm so tired mentally and physically. I didn't know that making it to the end was going to take this much out of me. Um, but I think just resting and being with the people that I love to reset for this next season is going to be important. I also hope to get down to Bermuda as well. So that's
Okay.
part of the plan as well.
Sure, sure. Now, I hear your management team is heading to Bermuda this summer to collaborate with football stakeholders.
Hmm.
What are you hoping they can accomplish?
Just building that connection. I think that more women in Bermuda need inspiration, to continue playing this sport. I know the
Mhm.
resources aren't as, the best as US and other big national teams, but just, finding inspiration in me. That's why I built my brand, Big Fishel Energy, is to inspire the youth to continue to do their best and to be who they are. Even if it's outside of soccer, just live your life to the fullest. And I hope that they find inspiration in their own life to be your authentic self in everything that you do. And we hope to continue to build that relationship with them to continue doing more camps and me getting down there to talk to the kids to run a session. And yeah, that's all important to me.
Sure. Well, I want to again congratulate you and thank you very much for taking out this time. I know you're a very busy young lady right now.
Yeah. No, thank
It's
you.
been, as you said, it's been a roller coaster ride, but hopefully we do get that chance to see you in Bermuda
Yes.
just so you can deliver that message in person. I think
Of
it's a
course.
real big thing that, we have this opportunity to have someone that we can actually, celebrate,
Yes.
and they would understand, and you get a chance to tell them your journey, because I
Yeah.
think you telling your story is really important.
Yeah.
And again, you get to see family and friends.
Exactly. It's a win-win. It's a win-win
Yeah.
down in Bermuda. So I do need to get down there. And I want to
Sure.
thank you for having me as well on this show.
Not a problem. Well,
Mm.
we'll be in touch.
Okay.
Again, congratulations. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
Okay.